Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Aaron. This is video number 2 of a 5-part series that I'm doing on bass notes with open chords. So last video was just simply finding the root note of the chord. So if we have a C chord, we're playing the C note. Okay, when someone says play the root and the fifth, what does that mean? Well, we're playing the root of a chord and the fifth of the chord. Now, you have to know what notes are in a chord to understand that. So I do have some videos on my channel if you want to poke around that talk about the root and the fifth and the third and all that. But real quick, if you take the scale do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, you apply numbers to it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, back to 1. Okay, if we take the C chord, for example, the 1, the 3, and the 5, so C, not D, but E, not F, but G. So C, E, G, the 1, the 3, and the 5, that is what those notes make up this C chord, okay? So now if we jump back to what we were talking about with bass lines, we can play the root of the chord, which would be C. Then we need a G. So we could jump over here to the third string. We're kind of starting to get up high there. C up to G. It's the right note, but it's not too deep. So what we could do is get creative here and play the C root, and then take this third finger and bump it over to 3rd fret 6th string and play a G there. So now we're going down to G. So C, G, C, G. Here it is going up. C, G. And some people like to finger this like this, where they have the G covered so they don't have to bounce a finger, but okay, so we found the root, which is C, and we found the fifth, which is G, and we can use those in our playing. Again, you can use any rhythm you want. You could go, hopefully you're hearing that root in the fifth, okay? So let's bump over to G now, the next key in the cycle of fifths. So G is our root, and if we counted up the G scale, G, A, B, C, D, D would be our fifth. Okay, this is very common. You hear bass players doing this line all the time. So remember, the note can go G up to D, or it could go G down to a D. In this case, we don't have a D lower than this, so we can't. But okay, so you got to put to your memory that G is the root, D is the fifth when you're playing a G chord, and you have to know where those are, what strings, right? Okay, we did the key of C, we did the key of G. Now we're going to do the key of D. Okay, so in this particular open chord, to go up here to D on the 2nd string, or sorry, D is the root, and then we have an A note. Okay, that would be the fifth, because D, E, F, G, A. So D, A. I'm going to try going down to get a little more bass. So D, down to A, the fifth. So it's D on the 4th string, A on the 5th string. You can also go D on the 4th string, A on the 3rd string. So it's a good idea, if you haven't, to find yourself a little PDF or something, or memorize all these notes in this open position so that you can get to them when you want to get to them. Okay, so the next key we have in the cycle is A. Okay, so we have an A note as our root, A, B, C, D, E. E is our fifth, so A up to E on the 4th string, so A 5th string, E 4th string, or we can go down to the 6th string. Check this out, A, E on the 6th string. Here's both, up to the 4th, down to the 5th. See, these are both E notes. Listen, E, E. You got octaves, okay, when you're holding this A note, A chord. Okay, so then we finish up to the E chord, which would be the key of E. Okay, we have an E, then we're going to go up to B on the 5th string, which is our 5th. E, F, G, A, B. Okay, so. We can't go below, there's no more strings, so. All right, so, it'd be good for you to memorize your roots and fifths through the first 5 keys. So the key is C, has a C and a G. The next key, G, has a G and a D. I don't know if you noticed, by the way, every time you move to a new key, that's the 5th from the old key. So C has root C, 5th G. Then we go to the key of G, and you have root G, 5th D. Then we move to the new key, which is D. We have root D, 5th A. Then we move to the new key, and we've got A root, and then you have A, E 5th. Okay, sorry, I messed that one up. I went to the 4th. And then lastly, you go to the key of E and you have E root B 5th. So, take some time and think about that, try to visualize that, but you gotta get it under your fingers, you gotta know there's these names. You can hear it too, you can use your ear, but roots and fifths are really important in rhythmic playing, especially if you don't have a bass player and you were supporting somebody maybe on a fiddle or something or a mandolin. You can pick up a lot of that, those bass lines. All right, I hope that's helpful to you, and if you haven't, check out my website, aaronrashaw.com. I've got a PDF of chord families and keys and the cycle of fifths, that stuff we were talking about. That could be helpful for you. It's free. If you could like or subscribe, that'd be great as well, because I've just crossed the 3,000 subscribers threshold, but I'm still low on watch hours. So trying to get more watch hours in here. If you got a friend that's interested in this stuff, if the content's connecting with you, pass this along. I'd be grateful. So, all right, thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye-bye.